So okay, I think that we are live online, and I hope that this one is running smoothly, and hopefully my friends on the chat can kindly confirm that we are live online. So checking that everything is working as expected. So I hope just okay, some final tests around. It's always important to check at the beginning that the system is working smoothly. Yes, I see that we are live online, so this is just going to be a great live show, I think. So I see that a few friends confirmed on the chat, and happy to be here. Just really checking the very last things before starting these, and I wish to thank those live now. Okay, friends. And I see really that wow, all is working here, so I think that we are really ready to start. I see many friends on chat right now, so I thank them for confirming right away that we are live, up and running. So this is a great evening here, and I'm so happy, and I must say even excited to run this live event. Well, I have hosted many live coverages here, you know, over the last years, but every time we celebrate our birthday, for me, is truly a very special event, you know. And I'm just trying to see if I can really start, because the system is just working great, and let me start also the live image sharing. So that also images are coming through the internet. Okay. Let me start this one too. Okay, I think that we are really on a good point for officially start this. I just want to check that the images will properly refresh, because I want to be sure that you are receiving what I want to send you. And meanwhile, I just want to remind you that you can join the chat. I see many friends there, and if you want, you can jump there, and that way you can find and meet other friends sharing the same love, the same passion as you. Okay, just let me check why the image is likely I have to change something. Okay, I see this. So I believe that we are there, even with the live screen. So here we are, friends. So what to say? It is time for us to start, I believe. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gianluca Masi speaking from the Virtual Telescope Project in Italy, and I'm very happy and very excited to be here with you, celebrating tonight the 8th birthday of the Virtual Telescope. Well, it is for me a very special day because we started right now a new year, the 9th actually, and we have just ended the 8th year since the Virtual Telescope started, as I said, now a number of years ago. Well, I really wanted to share this celebration with you. I wanted to do this online, as we did actually basically every year since the Virtual Telescope started. And every year, while we are older and older, we are, I must say, even more happier and happier because of the many accomplishments and the results obtained and really gained by the Virtual Telescope project. Well, for me, it's basically and almost impossible to remember everything happened here, but before starting, I would like just to remind you and summarize a few things behind the Virtual Telescope project. Well, if you have read my post on the website earlier today, maybe you know some of those points, but I just want to bring some of them to you again. And the Virtual Telescope project started exactly 8 years ago, one summer of during the summer of 2006, and at that time I was just wondering how I could make possible for me to do astrophysical research remotely using my telescopes, so without doing a trip to the observing site from the place where I live. I live in Rome, central Italy, while the telescopes are placed in Ceccano, which is about 100 kilometers south from here. And it is not easy to leave the city every day on daily basis, you know, riding for that long distance, also handling the traffic and so on, and then coming back sometime late in the night, early in the morning. As you can easily understand, that way it was really hard to keep a serious scientific program running on a nightly basis. I wanted something different, and this is why the Virtual Telescope project started. So, to say this in a nutshell, the Virtual Telescope is just a set of robotic telescopes that everyone on the planet can easily access, control, and use from its own location. So, doing this, I was able to make science any night, anytime I wanted. But as soon as I started just doing that, another idea actually appeared in my mind. I started thinking how I could bring, thanks to the Virtual Telescope, live astronomy, the live sky, to people worldwide with the real-time images, and of course with the comment, real-time live commentary to those images provided by professional scientists skilled in science communication. That was my goal, and this is why I started developing a special website making possible to receive images from the telescope and then pushing immediately those real-time images to people looking at a special page on the Virtual Telescope. And since then, over the last 8 years, we were able to bring astronomy and science to many people, and in particular the public outreach was impressive because I did some calculations earlier today, finding that since the 21 August 2013, that is 1 year ago exactly, to now, that is just to say that over the last 1 year we have served the astronomical images live to almost 3 million of individuals from 2026 different countries, and we are really we have registered more than 87 millions we have served 87 millions web pages to people worldwide, and recorded 258 millions. It's huge numbers, really, to even to be read from by a non-native English guy like me, and we had a 5.5 terabyte traffic. All those numbers refer to the last year. Really, for us, it was a huge increasing in our activity against the previous years, because all the numbers, the previous years, at the previous birthday, of course, were smaller. So not only we recorded such a very huge success worldwide, but those amazing numbers are still rising. And for us, this is really a reason of big joy, and we are proud for this and willing to do even much better over the next years. And I also want to remind you that the Virtual Telescope is just a volunteer project. That is, we really don't have any funding for running this stuff. We have no institutions covering our expenses. Everything is just based on our own not huge financial support, and for this I really want to thank people supporting us by free donations. This is the only mechanism making possible to the Virtual Telescope to survive. So I wish to thank the friends who decided to support us over these years, thanks to donations, making possible for us to pay bills, and we have bills to pay, the internet, the electricity, and the maintenance, because I must say that maintenance is a very expensive voice in this project. But I really want again to thank all those people supporting us over the years with their donations. Also, and this is important as well for me, I want to thank and remember that the Virtual Telescope can proudly say that we have wonderful, amazing, great technological partners. And they are Unitron Italia Instruments, Software Bisq, Bader Planetarium, Santa Barbara Instruments Group, and Planewave Instruments. And all of them really are making possible to this project to be at the technological level, you know, and that many others are truly looking with, I would say, some admiration, because the Virtual Telescope really is performing at an amazing level. As I said, the public outreach was amazing. We hosted more than 30 events, and some of them were really new because we included some international coverage, as you may remember the April lunar and solar eclipses, where when we partnered with people living in the US and in the Central America, like Costa Rica, friends from Panama and the US, as I said, and also for the solar eclipse, same month, April, with friends supporting us with live images from Australia. And again, from Australia, we had great support from the lunar occultation of Saturn, and we also covered a very special, amazing thing as the Camero-Pardalids meteor shower, again thanks to support of people in Canada and the US again. So those were just the key, I would say, and really new events, but 30 more than 30 live events are out there showing what the Virtual Telescope did to support people interest in astronomy. And for us, all this has been truly amazing. And I will never stop thanking people who made possible for us to have all this, because without your support, without donations, without our technological partners, the Virtual Telescope could not be here. And of course, you were likely missing this service. Me for sure. And I was talking before starting on the chat with Dodza, with Gary, with other friends, and we agreed saying that the Virtual Telescope is making possible another amazing thing, that is making possible for us to meet great people with the same interest in astronomy and making good friends with them. I'm aware of many people now calling each other friends because they met thanks to the Virtual Telescope, and this is something I could not, of course, expect at the beginning. While I could hope that the Virtual Telescope was going to be great as for outreach and science, of course, this other outcome is for me really amazing, because knowing that people is making friendship thanks to the Virtual Telescope is going much far away from my really first hopes when all this stuff started. But as I said, while the public outreach has been huge, I would say really a Guinness record, because the numbers I mentioned are the biggest I have ever heard about coming from a facility of this size, and I underline, without any funding. This is a truly winning formula. I believe that the friendly approach, also the scientific correct contents, and balancing them with fun and science are just really the secret of this recipe, you know. But I really don't know the secret here. What I can say is that I'm happy with what is happening, of course. Anyway, science on the other side has been huge too, because please do not forget that while the outreach, the public outreach and science communication are key points, key goals of the virtual telescope, soul science is the other soul. I really work a lot to keep both these aspects going together, and science has been for us again incredibly productive, because you know, many of you know this very well, because of course you are good friends of the virtual telescope, I know. But what I want to say is that science has been another rewarding, I would say, field, because over the last year, we've been basically covering all the supernova transient discovered and reported to the Central Bureau for Astronomical Telegrams. Our contributions appeared on so many circulars from the International Astronomical Union that I cannot count them anymore. And above all, we also provided first-rate spectroscopy for many of those supernova suspects, and we confirmed about 10 of them where we were the first to discover by spectroscopy that they were true supernova events. And in that, the virtual telescope, considering the size of the project, is really the most active facility in the world. Saying this is for me really breathtaking, because when all this started, as I said, a few years ago, 8 years ago, I could not imagine that today, 8 years later, not only the project was still living and surviving, but we are here with those amazing numbers. Well, I really would like to start also showing you some live things, because this is a cosmic party, as I said, but I must admit that the weather right now is not the best we could hope. Well, the sky is 50%, I must say, covered by clouds, and transparency is not the best, but no matter this, I would like just to try and use the telescope to image something. So let me start the telescope anyway, because I want to try to see something with you. And let me also do another thing, if I can. I would like just to share, as we do during these live events. I would like to share with you the console of the telescope. Just let me work to do this. Okay. So here we are. Let me add this other window, and this should be what I wanted to share. Okay, so that what I want here is that you can easily track what I'm doing as if you were here. So let me check that this is happening. Okay, so here it is. the telescope console, and I'm just going to ask the telescope to wake up. Okay. Okay, let's ask the system to unpark. So the telescope is just going and to wake up. Okay, I think that I have to force this manually. Okay. Let's find home, and we are truly starting. I cannot promise you the best quality images because, as I said, the sky is 50% covered by small clouds, so I really don't know how all these will turn out, but let's try, let's see, because I really want to try to share something with you. As I said many times, we also have a chat if you really want to jump and meet other friends. By the way, let me see who is on the chat. I see many friends. I see Corina from New Zealand, Dozza from Austria, Steve, then I see Abby from Costa Rica, Darko, Vero, Tatiana, Jimmy from Scotland, if I am just correct, and other friends. It is hard for me to mention all of you. I also thank Daniele, Laura, Gary, Jovan, Zoran, my good friend Zoran, Charles Bell joining now, and other friends. I see many other people there, Mike, Luigi, Mark, Playon, and more. So it is hard for me to mention everybody, but happy that you are here, friends. And again, I'm just adjusting things to be ready to try to observe something. The telescope is ready, as you can see. If you are new to the virtual telescope project, I just want to remind you how this is just working. You can see there that there is a star map, okay? That is, let me show it, otherwise you will not see it, okay? There is a star map there, as I said, and the stars visible there are the stars above the telescope right now. As I said, the telescope is about 100 kilometers far from me. The yellow circle there, the crosshair, the yellow crosshair, is saying where the telescope is pointing now. So this way you can easily understand where we are looking in the sky right now. And accordingly, and with the clear sky, we will try to see something. Okay, so first thing I would like to show you is an object, which is a good way for us to start. It is like, I would say, a donut, because I want to virtually offer you a sweet, a donut, a cosmic donut, and that is the wonderful Messier 57, a gem located in the Lyra constellation. You can see where the telescope is showing the position of the object we want. So keep in mind, yellow crosshair, the position where the telescope is looking. The red crosshair, the position where the object we want to observe is placed. When those circles are one above the other, the telescope is looking at the object. So we want to see, hopefully, Messier 57, so let's ask the telescope to go there right away. The telescope is moving, and this is clearly visible because the yellow circle is reaching the red one, and once both the circles are at the same place, the telescope will be there. So we are there, and let's see if at least we have something. I don't know, as I said, if we have clouds or what. So hopefully with the Messier 57 we will officially start this live birthday celebration for the virtual telescope project. So we are taking a quick preview image. Hopefully we will see this small cosmic donut, and we have here, we have the object. But before going to do this, I would like to start a longer exposure, if you don't mind, because I really want to save and use all the time we have. So let's start another image, and let's see what we have here as a preview. This one is the symbolic donut, sweet donut I offer to my friends just here during this live coverage to celebrate this online birthday for the Virtual Telescope. I must say that many of you are now very old friends for me, and here it is, such a cosmic, wonderful donut, Messier 57. Hope that you are enjoying it, as I'm enjoying it as well. And meanwhile the telescope is taking a longer exposure. With the Messier 57 we are truly starting in such a great way. It is called a planetary nebula. What we are seeing is just the gaseous envelope around a dying star. The star will be visible, I believe, very well in the next image. And that is a dying star, very similar to the Sun, same size, I would say same mass. The mass is what matters in with the stars. And let me see where the nebula is. Here it is, and look at this very delicate and amazing masterpiece in the sky, showing so beautifully today for the Virtual Telescope Project birthday. Happy that the image are so good, even if, as I said, we are not under the best skies, but at least with Messier 57 we are having such a great image, to the point that I would like to try an even higher resolution shot, so that the central star, the dying star making this wonderful object, will be even better visible. As I said, this is the Ring Nebula Messier 57 in the Lyra constellation, likely the most famous planetary nebula in the sky, and it is going to be shown with a higher resolution. All the images we are seeing here are live images provided by our system. The Virtual Telescope is truly happy and proud to provide you live images from the Virtual Telescope, from the cosmos, you know. And this one is also placed at about 2,500 light years far away from us. So we are looking so far away, basically at the times of the ancient Roman Empire. Well, the Roman Empire was born from the place I'm here, where I am right now, because as I say, the telescope is 100 kilometers far from me. We are running this remotely, and also this is also making even more evident the amazing technology we have available at the Virtual Telescope, thanks also to our technological partners: Unitron Italia Instruments, Software Bisq, Badr Planetarium, Santa Barbara Instruments Group, and Planewave Instruments. And here it is, this wonderful small masterpiece of beauty, and I believe that we are truly blessed with a wonderful, really crisp and detailed image. And this is for you, my friends. Look at this amazing shot. I'm really shocked to see the amazing resolution of this image. This is a truly raw image, no image processing at all, and despite this one is really looking so beautifully, friends. Well, after looking at this huge distance, okay, 2.5 thousands of light years from us, I would like to leave and go to visit another cosmic jewel, also because I see the sky is just wonderful right now. So after visiting the Ring Nebula, and I think that we can be happy with this amazing shot. And I would like just to go and visit the wonderful Messier 13 object, because this wonderful seeing should help observing the amazing great globular cluster in Hercules at a very spectacular level. So let's ask the telescope to move. And as you can see, the telescope is also telling you where the destination is now in the Hercules constellation. And let's ask the telescope to go there, friends. The telescope is moving, everything is running for us. The virtual telescope increased and improved its technology over the years constantly. A lot of sacrifice, I must say, a lot of effort, a huge, giant effort to run all this basically alone, I must say. But for me, your support and your friendship are really important to keep this titanic effort running, as well as people supporting us by donations and also our technological partners. So we are now sitting on the body of Hercules, and let's ask the telescope, if you like, to take an image. Let's start with a quick short exposure so that at least we will have something to look for, a quick glance, you know. And let's see. Oh, sorry, I just my mistake. Just want to take, as I said, shorter, as a low resolution, fast image. I would like to kindly ask, okay, to people to tell where you are. I see also Mike Simmons, my good friend. Happy, Mike, that you had a chance to join. Mike Simmons is a good friend of mine, and he is a president and founder of Astronomers Without Borders, a great organization sharing the sky across the borders, because all borders vanishes when we are looking up. And One People, One Sky is the motto of Astronomers Without Borders, and we partnered many times for sharing the beauty of cosmos with people everywhere on this planet. And this partnership, friendship and cooperation between the virtual telescope and Astronomers Without Borders is really going to last for all the time we will have with us, because we really like what we are doing together. So let me start now. While we have a quick sight here of Messier 13, let me start, of course, a very high resolution image. But meanwhile, let's have fun with this crisp sight of Messier 13. This is a globular cluster that is a huge, dense family of stars, a lot of stars. We can estimate 500,000 stars here, and they are crowded so much that in the very center of this object it is hard to look, even through powerful telescopes, you know. And if we try to adjust the image a bit, we can likely improve our capability to look in the center, but the next image, I'm sure, will be even much better. We are looking now very distant in space and time, because this object is located at about 25,000 of light years, so very, very far from us. And despite this, we can even count the stars there. So we are looking live such a very, very beautiful, amazing object. And of course, the virtual telescope is providing, I must say, excellent images, very crisp images, and they are not processed. Okay, I have to adjust contrast and brightness here. And look, this one is a truly promising, spectacular shot. Look how detailed, crispy these images are coming live through the virtual telescope project. I just want to put this image full screen, just for those really willing and to look at this glory without any limitation on the screen. While the sky is not the best possible, we are still having some truly great sight of the heavens, my friends. Sorry, I'm just trying to put the cluster in the center, if I can. Hope I succeeded. Here it is, Messier 13 for you. Also note how the telescope is able to slew to an object and image the object right away without any auto guiding. This is truly something making the virtual telescope a winning project, because just slew to a given source, to a given object and take an image. This is important for the highest productivity when science is a factor, and I'm very amazed by this wonderful great object. Messier 13 with us. I would say they are, as I said, Alpha Meilio candles celebrating this important 8 years here with the Virtual Telescope project, friends, and I hope that over these years you had fun with us, and of course we are here to keep this just running. This is truly a great image, raw image without any processing. I can only guess that with under better sky conditions, without clouds around, and taking many of these images, the last image coming from fine processing will be just breathtaking. But we want to see more and more, so let's go again to the telescope console, and let's ask the telescope to go south, because we want to see a place where stars are burning. And for this, one of the best places to look for is Messier 16, something I really like, I really love. So let's go there, because minutes are precious here. When you have clouds moving randomly in the sky, you never know where clouds are going to sit. And I believe that they understand where you are pointing the telescope, and they decide to go there every time. But so we are going there. And now we are sitting on Messier 16. And let's take a very quick image for Messier 16. Let's reduce the resolution, because as you now know very well, we like to have at least a quick image to say something while waiting for the final image to arrive. So let's take a handful of seconds image, then I will already prepare the system to take the longer exposure. The preview is coming. Then I will ask the telescope to go and take a better image. Let me just reduce this for a while, because I want to start the full image we want. Okay, let's take 2x2 resolution, very good for nebulae like this. Let's ask for image calibration automatically. Also, I see Tony Angel jumping into the chat. Happy you are here, Tony, as well. Tony is an avid comet observer, and we met thanks to comets as well. And let's start another image, so that the telescope is taking now the official image of Messier 16. And despite the only 8 seconds exposure, and I must say also the far from the ideal sky, we have here a clear sight of the Eagle Nebula, Messier 16, here for you, friends. Wonderful sight every time. Those dark areas are just dust covering the brighter region behind. So the dark areas are just foreground portions of the nebula. The nebula connected with the star formation there. This is a place where stars are just growing and having wow, this is amazing, my friends. Look at this image. While the sky, as I said, is not good, look how wonderful this image is. This is just beautiful. The stars you see on the bottom right are born from the nebula. I just want to scroll the image if I can, just to make possible for you to see the best of this picture. Okay. All this is coming through the internet. This is why we need some time before having everything upgrading. But I think that we are truly having wonderful sights. Also, I must say that the sky is not good. I can see from my all-sky camera that we are just looking in the clear part of the sky, because on the north direction we have lots of clouds. I don't know how the situation will evolve eventually, but have just a sight to this wonderful view. This is a black and white image. We are using no filters for this, so this is I would say neutral image, and despite the sky is not perfect, despite the clouds, the structure making this nebula so famous and admired are evident in front of us. I'm very happy to see so many people jumping and joining us. August is likely not the best month for us to have a birthday celebration, you know. I suggest you, if you like, just to save images and share. You can share those images on your Facebook profiles, blogs, Twitter, whatever you like. The only thing I will kindly ask is just to mention that they were taken during the live coverage, the live celebration of the Virtual Telescope 8th birthday. Other than that, these images are yours, really. Happy that the sky, while cloudy, largely cloudy, mainly cloudy, is offering us some opportunities to look these beautiful things. So let's say goodbye to Messier 16 and let's try with another very famous object, another planetary nebula, and this time we will observe Messier 27, the famous Dumbbell Nebula. In the little fox, the Vulpecula, you can see the red circles, our destination, and let's ask the telescope to go there. Telescope is moving smoothly. I just want to remember that the virtual telescope consists in two independent, fully robotic telescopes. We are using the Planewave 17 inches main unit for those live sites, and let me see if I just can take a quick image of this object before starting, as we are doing a standard, the longer exposure. So here we are. The system is now downloading the quick image. Then we will start the longer exposure. And the dumbbell is there through clouds, I must say, because looking at the webcam, I can see at the all-sky camera, I can see that we are really looking now through a very tiny cloudy coverage. But let me take the longer, because as I say, this is just 8 seconds anyway. This one is another very famous planetary nebula, as I said, Messier 27, a gem in the summer northern skies, you know. And this one is again a very important object, likely one of the most frequently imaged deep sky wonders in the summer skies, and it is about 1.4 thousands of light years far from us. This is a giant bubble of gas. Again, the central star is a star now dying that has the mass of the sun, and planetary nebulae are just showing us how the sun will end its own life. The sun will create something similar. Okay, let's adjust the contrast, brightness, and whatever, and let's enjoy this truly smooth, wonderful image of Messier 27. I would like to provide this a full screen site for you, if you don't mind. I think that you want also to see this one full screen. Messier 27, offered live through the Virtual Telescope project. The Planewave 17 inches telescope is just showing us these amazingly sharp images in real time without any processing. We are just only correcting for the thermal noise, but without any improvement of resolution and so on. So the images are wonderful by themselves at the original. And I must say that the Virtual Telescope observing site is blessed by a truly wonderful seeing that is high quality and amazing quality and steady atmosphere. And this is very important because our images are able to capture very fine and subtle details invisible otherwise. I thank my friend Zoran for building an album with all the images we are doing. Zoran has been doing a great job for the Virtual Telescope. You know Zoran, many of you know Zoran. As I said, he did a great work also spreading around the Virtual Telescope project idea, and I hope that we can cooperate together even more. And I want to thank Zoran for his support, as well as the other friends really helping spreading the word about the Virtual Telescope around, because the more people joining this project, the easier for us to keep this running, because as I said, we can just live and survive thanks to donations, thanks to people making possible to the Virtual Telescope to spread around, and helping this is for us a great help from you. Thanks to you, Corina, for your endless kindness. I must say that thanks to the Virtual Telescope, I've been able to meet many new friends, basically thanks to astronomy, dating very back in the last century, in the previous century, I must say. And many friends are truly helping us, and for me this is just amazing. So let's see what we can observe after this. I would like just to say goodbye to this wonderful Messier 27. It is hard to say goodbye to something so special, I must say, but I'm sure you want to see more. So let's go and try to see more than this. Back to the telescope control. Okay. And now let's try to just looking around, choosing something new. Again, if you want, just jump into the chat, meet other excellent friends there. We have a lot of friends there, actually. So I will be happy if you come and join and find them as well. Okay, after this I just would like to show you a very strange object, if I can. Famous among astrophotographers, but less obvious. For curious people. Okay, it is NGC 6888, the famous Crescent Nebula, and you will understand what this stuff is after looking at it. So let's ask the telescope to go there first of all, and then we will see what this nebula is likely. So the telescope is pointing. And of course, we are now sitting in the right place, and let's ask the telescope to go and take an image. Okay. Let's start with a quick image, as we are doing often now. Then I will prepare the telescope for the longer exposure. So let's see. Well, this is the quick image is a mystery, likely for many people, I guess. But let's start the longer exposure and let's put the system back to the full grayscale. You can see clearly the evidence of a gas tail, and it is the brightest portion of the Crescent Nebula, which is an emission nebula. Let me put the console of the telescope back to you, otherwise it is hard for you to spot this on my face. Here it is, the quick sight, as I said. And what you can see is the evidence of the brightest portions of the Crescent Nebula. That is an emission nebula. We are looking in the Cygnos constellation. It is about 5,000 light years far from us. And this envelope is formed by the fast stellar wind from a Wolf-Rayet star, a very massive star there in the center, of course. And let's hope and let's see what we can see from the next image. Much defined, as you can see, but I would like to try with you another thing. Let me use a special filter here, and let's see if using a special filter, selecting only the light from the nebula, if the contrast can be improved. Let's see. Let's try. This one is one of my favorite objects. Not easy to spot, as I said, but still amazing to observe. just beautiful. Also my friend Mauro, good friend, joining. I see so many people, it's impossible for me to track all of you. Dozza, Abi, Marzi, Andres, Vero, Peace, Tatiana, Jimmy, Pierluigi, Tony, Zoran, James, Luigi, Matteo, Mike, Giovanni, Nati, Mauro, and a handful of other people with no personal nicknames and marked by the system as anonymous, but they are not anonymous for me, just for the system, even if I don't know your names. But thanks for jumping here. The system is just downloading. Oh, I see that the telescope needed to be focused again. Sorry. Let me do this right away. So we are observing with the H-alpha filter. So let's ask the telescope to use the proper focus position so that we will have the best imaging possible here. Let me also remove calibration. I think that with this it's not important. Okay. And we already started a new image. Don't consider this one, please, because there was a focus issue, because when you, of course, put the filter inside the optical path of the light coming from a telescope, you have to adjust the focus, of course. I did so. So let's see the next image. Thank you, Eduardo. I'm just trying to do the best, sharing what I love with my friends, and you are really, really welcome. So in a handful of seconds, we will see the effects of the better focusing, and you can see the stronger contrast of the nebular features thanks to the filter. They are as the crazy hairs of I don't know, of a strange cosmic entity. Let me see if I just optimize this a bit. It's for me so great to see people from Costa Rica chatting and talking to people in New Zealand and people in Serbia, Europe, and so on. This is just amazing. Welcome aboard, Susie. But we are now ready to leave for another objects. The sky is now, well, even worse, but at least we are having so far a good sight, a good vision. I must say that everything I tried to point turned out quite well. Of course, I knew where to point to avoid clouds, but now the situation is less obvious. And let me see if I can just well, we have clouds there, unfortunately, because I wanted to show you something special, but for now clouds are not with me for showing it right away, because for sure I wanted to show you the comet Jacques. But as far as I can see, this is not easy because of the clouds spread all around. Anyway, let me see if we can just look something we observed last time. Okay, I have to wait for a couple of minutes more. You might remember that last year, when we were celebrating the 7th birthday of the virtual telescope, there was a special object in the sky, like a gift for us. It was the Nova Delphini 2013. At that time, that nova was at the maximum brightness, and after 1 year, I would like to show you where this nova is. It will be the next object we will observe. It was the birthday candle for the virtual telescope 1 year ago, and we want to see how that candle is looking now after exactly 1 year. You can see that it is crossing the meridian. I will wait for 90 seconds to have it in the same part of the meridian where the telescope is, just to avoid the telescope to move in the other side, just to save some time. It will take 1 minute for the telescope to go there, so at this point we will wait the same 1 minute for the object to come here, so that we will have in the same side of the sky. And I still see many people jumping here. I want to remind you that the virtual telescope is here to bring to you the wonders of the sky, both to the general public but also to science, because we really contributed to many different scientific fields: gamma ray bars, cataclysmic variable stars, novae and supernova, comets, asteroids, and so on. I cannot actually count how many scientific contributions are out there coming from the virtual telescope. I also wish to remind you that of course the virtual telescope is there to be used by people remotely. If you want to take advanced images of the celestial wonders, you can just subscribe the Virtual Telescope Project imaging service, and that way of course you will also contribute to the virtual telescope, I will say, life. That way you will give a contribution to keep all these alive and running, of course, because we have also to face expenses and other similar things. Okay, the nova is in the right place, and let's see how this object is looking now after exactly 1 year. We are there, friends, and go back to show you the console, the telescope console. I would like just to find also an image for you to show it as a comparison, but let me start on a 1 minute exposure. We have to remove a filter. First of all, go back to the original focus position without filters. It is doing. Let's to remove the filter, going empty. Okay. The focuser arrived, and let's start the exposure. Meanwhile, I'm just going to look for you an image for the nova. Just to see how this nova is feeling after basically 1 year since it exploded. Well, I have a nice image here of the object. Let me save this one. Let me add the incoming image. Okay, I just try to add an image for comparison. Here it is. Okay. This is truly funny. We have clouds interfering. You can see the strange background, the gradient of light, because, as I said, of passing clouds. But Nova Delphini is there. pretty well visible. And to be sure to see it, let me see if I can show you another image. Let me, okay, something I can do here. I can just enlarge the field of view so that the star in the very center, okay, is Nova Delphini. The star in the center is Nova Delphini right now. It is very faint. If we compare it with its I guess brightest 1 year ago, look here. I think that looking here you can recognize some patterns, sorry, so that the nova is apparent. You can see there is a circle of stars close to the nova at hour 7 from it. Okay, here you can see the bright nova 1 year ago, sorry. And if you go back and forth, you can see how the nova is looking now. So let me show it again from the live images now. Look here, impressive, the difference in brightness, amazing, friends. Not so bad. Perhaps reducing a bit the magnification will help you. I would like to kindly ask to the friends on the chat if they were able to recognize the nova in the live image I grabbed. It was about 4.5 and now it is much fainter. It is maybe 12, just to give a very quick estimate, Adrian, from here. Did you recognize the nova on the live image, the one showing now? I will be happy to know. Just to be sure that you located it. Yes, thank you. It is incredibly easier to find looking at the center, and this was a truly fantastic experience last year, because last year Nova Delphini was one of the most important astronomical events we had for science, also because it was bright and very peculiar. Well, I see now that the sky really is getting worse. Just to show this, let's take another 1 minute exposure. And you will see this clearly, my friends. Here it is, the nova right now in the center. It is also very instructive for me to compare the same object after 1 year. Well, please understand that not only we are having fun, but we visited an astrophysical primary target showing such a huge difference 1 year later. I don't know how many of you had a chance to look at a nova 1 year later. I don't know how many, actually. Thanks to the virtual telescope, we observed both. See, now we have no stars because we have just clouds. Let me check the situation. This object was at the maximum brightness, sorry, for a few weeks. It was really very interesting events to spy or to keep to track it all the time. Fortunately, I don't see now any clear portion, and I fear that under this cloudy system it will be safe for me to ask the telescope to go in the parking position, because I really don't want to have rain or something like that going there. Maybe champagne will be better for such a birthday celebration, but no other stuff, no water. You know, these devices are extremely delicate. So I asked the telescope to go to its parking position, and this is what the telescope is doing now. Plenty of clouds at the observatory, the observing site now. But after all, my friends, we had 1 hour of fun, I believe, and I must say that I was not sure, looking at so many at the weather forecast. I was not sure that tonight the sky was clear, and I was ready to just delay to reschedule this event for tomorrow, but we were actually lucky enough to spy some wonderful objects. Unfortunately, I could not show you the comet jackets I wanted to show, but never mind, because at Virtual Telescope soon we will schedule a special event for that comet, because we want to show such a wonderful comet to you friends worldwide. And this will happen in the next very few weeks. I will just inform you, advertise this event in advance for you to join. Just checking again the weather. We have our sky camera showing what is happening above the observatory, hour, 1 minute after minute after minute, to have the best coverage possible. I wish to thank also Joaquin Fabrica Polleri, a very good friend of mine from Panama. And I must say that over the years, while making also thrilling discoveries thanks to the Virtual Telescope, I was able to meet and enjoy friendship of so many great people all around the globe. Astronomy, as always, provides a very good ground for people to start amazing and endless friendship. I believe that as people, other people said many times, that if we were used to the sky a bit more than we do, we really could be a much better planet without so many really bad things happening, because looking up you discover that there are so many strong connections between different cultures, and what we call different is not so different. We are just developed in a different manner, and this is great, because difference is richness. If everybody here were the copy of the other, it was going to be such a very stupid world. But differences are making more precious the experience of life, just because you add a different point of view, you add a different element, a different experience, and in that difference there is a big resource for the human being. And for me, looking at the stars is always a great chance, a great occasion to learn, to breathe all this, because under the same sky you really understand we are crazy to fight each other, when we are here to enjoy and share the beauty of nature, to defend what is making us so happy when we look around. After all, as Carl Sagan said, we are just that part of the universe able to see the universe. We are part of the cosmos. We are not just I would say viewers of an external cosmos. The cosmos starts here inside us, and we can see all around us, and that is part of us. So we are just the same thing, and we are people made of star stuff, and that is also very, very deep thought. For me, thanks to the virtual telescope, is like a mission to share this thought, thanks also to the science, to the wonders of the cosmos. But I really love to believe that this I would say silent message that we are all together under the same stars is really the message keeping and staying with us after the astronomical experience. And for this, I'm very happy and proud that we are so tightly connected and friendly connected with Astronomers Without Borders, and my friend Mike Simmons is on the chat as well, president and founder of that a great organization, because we really believe that together we can really make this possible, having people discovering that we all share the same wonderful universe, the same stars, the same sky. Unfortunately, I see that the sky is not improving, possibly is getting even worse. So I think that we can close here this amazing event. Again, I wish to thank all of you, my friends, for making these 8 years so wonderful for me. I must say that even without any astronomical discovery, the virtual telescope has been and still is well worth the efforts needed to run it, because the human return I am having, and hopefully I will have, are for me the best and most and the greatest return I could ever hope. And you friends made these 8 years for me so amazing. I'm really moved now to talk about this even in a foreign language, and I feel the limitations of the language here, because in Italian I will be able to explain this likely much better, but you know, this is not English, not language, and I apologize after all for my brutal English Italian language. But what I want to say is that the virtual telescope has been one of the greatest and amazing experience in my life, and for me is like a mission to try to return at least a bit of this to all of you out there. I know that over the last year almost 3 million of individuals approached the sky through the virtual telescope from more than 230 countries, and those numbers really do not have something similar on this planet. Considering that we don't have any financial support, any institution funding us, really nothing of this. If this success is there and numbers say so, it just means that the receipt of the virtual telescope is amazing, and that the public of the virtual telescope is even more amazing. That said, friends, I want to thank again the technological partners making possible to the virtual telescope to show, to sport the last technologies. They are Unitron Italia Instruments, Software Bisq, Bader Planetarium, Santa Barbara Instruments Group, and Planewave Instruments. I still want to thank all the people supporting us by donations, because, as I said, that is the only source of funding for us. Without donations, the virtual telescope was already a closed project, I must say, because over the last years, as everywhere in the world, the economic situation has been terrible. And of course, my surname is not Rockefeller, so you can easily understand that running this on the personal economical resource is not easy. But thanks to donations and thanks to our, I would say, faith in the project, we were able to survive, and we are here. Hopefully, we will have another great year together, and some news are coming, because we will start some new scientific project as well. We will be able to talk a bit about this later, so stay tuned. You can join the Virtual Telescope Project fan page on Facebook. You can also join the follow option on the website, so that every new post on the website will be notified directly in real time to you by email. And also, we will continue our partnership with other organizations. First of all, of course, Astronomers Without Borders, in particular Global Astronomy Month. We had a wonderful experience last year, as the previous editions, and of course we are really looking forward to work together to the next edition. Also, we are just trying to explore new possibilities to develop this project further. It is hard doing this, but over these 8 years, I must say that many things looking very hard at the beginning are now reality. First of all, the virtual telescope itself. So I believe that if you will stay with us, supporting us with your energy, enthusiasm, and your friendship, I think that nothing can stop us just willing and wishing to bring the beautiful cosmos we share there to you through the internet, no matter where we are. This is a cosmic arena where everybody can meet and discover new friends under the stars we love. That's all, my friends. Thank you for joining. Thank you for being with us for all those years, and I wish you a great, safe and healthy new year, starting now for the next 12 months, because the virtual telescope wants to find you in good shape, good health every time. So friends, thank you very much. Keep looking up and never forget, the stars are there to be shared in their beauty and wonders. Thank you very much. Goodbye, my friends.